Tonight on Cougar News, a speaker shares his story of overcoming depression.
Plus, the AMGEN Tour races through Santa Clarita.
Also, a local football player commits to a Division I school. Cougar News starts now.
This is Cougar News.
Hello and welcome to Cougar News. I'm Austin Westfall.
And I'm Sade, Easterling. Here's the latest from the Cougar Newsroom.
Over 1,000 college students commit suicide every year, and that number continues to grow. Kevin Berthia came to College of the Canyons to talk about his battle with depression and to let students know that there is hope. Jake Barabas has more on the story.
Where I grew up, we didn't even talk about mental health. We didn't even talk about depression. I grew up in Oakland, California, where your reputation is everything to you.
Kevin Berthia climbed over the rail of the Golden Gate Bridge, planning to jump. A California Highway Patrol officer talked him down after 92 minutes. More than a decade later, Berthia is sharing his story to help others dealing with suicidal thoughts. Berthia spoke about his experiences Wednesday at College of the Canyons. His speech was a part of Shine a Light, a suicide prevention and awareness two-day event put on at College of the Canyons, where 1,100 lanterns are lit in the Honor Grove to symbolize students who lose their lives annually to suicide. Berthia emphasizes with college students' situations, having been diagnosed with a major depression disorder at age 19.
I used to think I was alone and nobody in the world felt like me. Now that I know it's people in the world that feel like me, it's my job to help them out, to encourage them, let them know, hey, I've been where you've been. The darkest point that you ever thought you can ever be, and I came out of it. You can come out of it too.
Anyone who needs help with emotional distress or thoughts of suicide can call the Suicide Prevention Hotline at 800-273-8255.
Just take the time to see things through. That moment that you think that you have to end it, you really don't. We always think we have to end our life. We don't have to end our life. We can always start over. We can start a new life. Each and every day we have an opportunity to start a new life.
Reporting for Cougar News, I'm Jake Barabas.
From the beginning of last year, Santa Clarita has had an increase in the number of pedestrian deaths. Sade Holgan has more on the story.
Have Santa Clarita drivers taken their focus off the road? Are pedestrians being cautious when crossing the street?
These are the questions surrounding the increasing number of pedestrian deaths here in Santa Clarita. Last year there were 10 fatal deaths, the first one occurring in July. We are now in May of this year and there have already been 7 fatal deaths.
Nobody seems to care anymore. You know, they got to get from point A to point B in 5 seconds, it seems like.
We spoke with Sergeant Scott Shoemaker from the Santa Clarita Sheriff's Station to get some insight behind the issue.
A huge factor of this is people need to slow down. Just because the speed limit will say, 45 miles an hour, that doesn't mean it's always safe to go 45 miles an hour 24 hours a day.
Sergeant Shoemaker referenced a campaign called Drive, Focus, Live.
It's an educational campaign. It's a 3-part component from the city working with the Sheriff's Department through education for the residents of the valley.
With today's attachment to technology, the question is whether it plays a role on this issue.
I try my hardest to be a safe driver. I try not to be on my phone, try to keep free of distractions.
But should drivers be the only ones held responsible?
Especially with the technology that we have these days, we're very often looking at our phones, we're not looking up. Students especially have earbuds in, and so they're not necessarily hearing cars as they go by. And when I see students crossing the crosswalks near campus, I'm not seeing them look both ways. I'm not seeing them really interacting with their surroundings. And
according to the AAA Foundation, 2 in 3 drivers reported talking on their phone. For more information on pedestrian safety, visit the link below.
For Cougar News, I'm Sade Holgan.
Over 500 Special Olympic athletes from all over Southern California gathered at Hart High School on Saturday to take part in the annual Spring Regional Games. Brandon Iriarte has the story.
Encouragement, cheers, and dedication were all part of the annual Special Olympics Spring Regional Games on Saturday, as over 500 athletes competed in basketball, track and field, and more.
This is a great opportunity for our athletes to get to showcase their talent. They've been practicing since February, so this is what it's all leading up to, the big competitions.
It all began at Hart High School as athletes from over 9 regions in Southern California marched onto the football field as part of the opening ceremony. The ceremony included the iconic lighting of the cauldron, which had some help this year from the use of a drone that dropped off the special torch to its escorts.
It's called the Flame of Hope, and as law enforcement, we are known as the guardians of that flame. So we take that role very seriously. We love being here. We love the athletes. Not a better way to spend a Saturday.
As the games began, spectators were able to see the months of hard work both athletes and coaches put in as they jumped, raced, and scored their way to what they practiced for, their very own medal.
It's very rewarding. It's, you know, everybody, all the athletes get really hyped up, and of course they want to win a medal, so I love them, you know, they mean so much to me. They really do.
And all of this would not have been possible without the help of volunteers as they coached, prepared, and provided throughout the day. For Cougar News, I'm Brandon Ariarte.
Embracing kindness and creativity to elementary school children is leading to a great cause in this community. Here's more. Spreading positivity with creativity. On Saturday, Pass It On, a Path to Kindness held at Saugus High School, brought together children in the Santa Clarita Valley. Elementary school students created a care kit, which will be donated to the 4th floor of the Children's Hospital in Los Angeles. A series of events included some dancing, games, activities, and food.
Take the white part off. Because it's a really good cause, because you get to keep an art project, and then you get to give the people in need. And I really like doing special grants.
A piece to the puzzle to help others seemed to be the greatest idea to many of the volunteers.
Called SSA, it's like Safe School Ambassadors, and we're basically trying to like promote kindness and like have a bunch of events give one to someone who like want to give one to, and it's like pass it on, and then
This event was definitely an act of kindness. For Cougar News,
With thousands of vehicles, cyclists, and pedestrians going through Santa Clarita intersections daily, we found out just how the city keeps all of it moving 24/7.
The flow of traffic can either make your day or make you late. Traffic signals are a part of our daily life. But did you ever wonder how the city manages the flow of thousands of vehicles, bicyclists, and pedestrians passing through intersections daily?
This is the Santa Clarita Traffic Operations Center, where they maintain and monitor over 180 traffic signals throughout Santa Clarita in real time.
The city's state-of-the-art Traffic Operations Center optimizes how traffic flows throughout Santa Clarita. Over the last several years, the city has invested millions of dollars installing, amongst other things, traffic signals and fiber optic lines that allow the center to have 100% connection to all the signals within Santa Clarita.
What we can do here is we can monitor traffic from inside this room. Visually, we have the cameras. We can change signal timing to modify any changes to the signal timing for each intersection.
Timing of the signals is managed by a massive server that was built by city traffic engineers and is also located in the center. So what about those top secret ways to change the light from red to green faster? Like flashing your high beams at a red light or hitting the walking button several times? Sorry to tell you, but those are just myths. State laws require that an entire traffic signal cycle must take 132 seconds. But there are days when signals don't do as they're programmed. So what should you do if you see one malfunctioning?
If there's anything out there that you see is unusual, notify us and we'll do our best to accommodate you.
For Cougar News, I'm Kimberly Pressler.
He has traveled the world bringing music to many, but it's students here in the Santa Clarita Valley who get to hear him most. Erica Cheever introduces us to a longtime music instructor at the Masters College.
Dr. Paul Plew has been the chairman of the music department at the Master's College for the last 37 years, where he is also an alumni.
You know, the longer, when you have a passion for something, the longer you do it, the more you love it. And so my encouragement to anyone, find out what your passion is in life, and you're not going to have to work a day the rest of your life. You just love it.
Music has always been a large part of Dr. Plew's life, but his favorite thing to see is how the music helps his students grow and how it becomes a part of their lives.
Seeing changes in the lives of students. Seeing music become something that they really gravitate toward. Seeing how music helps them become more disciplined. How music is something, it's a team activity, and there's a lot in life that's very individualistic. It's a wonderful thing to see how students gravitate to becoming better and better as they go along in their college years. But then being a Christian college here at Master's College, you know, our faith is extremely important to us. And to see them grow in their faith.
Each summer, the Masters Chorale goes on tour either in the United States or somewhere overseas. This summer, they are staying in the Midwest, where they will visit many different churches and music halls to sing praises and hymns. While they're on tour, they can often sing to 15,000 people.
You know, I've done a lot of the European countries. I love Italy and Spain, Germany, been in Luxembourg, Belgium, some of these countries several times. I've done Spanish tours and Italian tours. I've done entire tours in the language of the people. But then I've been in Russia several times, Ukraine, and pretty much every state in the country.
I'm Erica Cheever reporting for Cougar News.
You probably do not associate Santa Clarita with aircraft engineering, but a big name in the industry operates right here in our backyard. I flew by to take a look. Sun Air Parts was founded in Sun Valley in 1971. Since then, Dennis Noble has built a thriving business taking old Pratt & Whitney aircraft engines and making them good as new. The business was such a success that in 1990, Sun Air had to move to a bigger lot in Valencia, where it remains headquartered to this day.
We kind of keep low key around town, but we're known worldwide as the largest supplier of Pratt & Whitney piston engine parts in the world.
With 240 unique parts and 11 full-time employees, Sun Air Parts supplies overhauled engines as well as newly manufactured parts, tools, and accessories for aircrafts around the world. Some of the firm's customers include crop dusters, sea and float planes in Alaska, old DC planes for foreign air forces, and firefighting aircraft, including older Super Scoopers.
When we get them, they're all greasy like this, and when they come back from the shop, approximately $60,000 later, they're ready to go 2,400 hours before they're overhauled again. And this will go on a Super Scooper.
He's set a lot of systems in place with making sure he has good stock and having things ready to go. Good people working for him, and I'll have to keep a lot of smart people around me too.
Despite the already lengthy lifespan of these engines, Noble expects his business to last another few decades or more, and thinks his daughter Annette and niece Susan might take over for him.
Hopefully the two girls will take an interest and keep it going for another 50 years.
There's all kinds of cool things rattling around that building. Sun Air is open for visits. Now we're joined by Ariel with What's Trending. I hear that water is, well, it's always a hot topic in the SUV. What's going on with it now?
It's a hot topic still, and you're never going to believe what I have for you guys tonight. You may be seeing some greener lawns in your neighborhood. Today, the State Water Resources Control Board plans to allow local water districts to loosen their rules when it comes to watering outdoors or washing your car. Local water districts can do away with the new restrictions that came from the recent drought. In some areas, water agencies are already allowing to change their rules when it comes to the El Niño rain. The future of transcripts is now here. The COC Admissions and Records Office is now letting students send their transcripts to all colleges with e-transcript. And now all transcripts will be uploaded directly to a university's admission system. Students can request their e-transcripts online at mycanyons.edu. COC is hoping that e-transcripts will benefit students who are transferring in the future. Your social media dreams are coming true. Twitter is making a major shift in how it counts characters in tweets. The social media company is debating on not counting photos and links toward the 140 character limit. The change has not been made public yet, but the decision is in the works and is planning on becoming final in the next 2 weeks. Twitter hopes that removing the character requirement for links and photos will encourage their users to post more media on their Twitter pages. For more stories in and around the Santa Clarita Valley, you can check us out on cougarnews.com. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ariel. Coming up on Cougar News, COC graduates hit the grad fair. Plus, Santa Clarita hosts Bike to Work Day. Stay tuned.
Art is life. Art is love. Art is patience.
COC's new makerspace had its grand opening this past Thursday. The space will allow students to turn their innovation and ideas into a reality. Sammy Giebers has more.
Marcel Proust said, "If a little dreaming is dangerous, the cure for it is not to dream less, but to dream more, to dream all the time." This sentence embodies how many of us feel not only about this space, but about what we do here at College of the Canyons.
College of the Canyons' new makerspace had its grand opening on Thursday. This new space, located in the Valencia Campus Student Center, provides students interested in the science, technology, engineering, art, and math fields with an area to work on projects and fuel creativity.
We're very fortunate here at this college in that we're very technologically advanced with some of the equipment and instrumentation that our students have access to. And so we want to be able to give our students an opportunity to work outside of the classroom, to innovate, think of new things.
Well, I'm part of the architecture and interior design program, so having this space allows us to have a place to print out our projects, you know, be able to work on them because a lot of times our classrooms are closed. So having this gives us a space where we can all come to and work together.
Makerspace allows students to have a creative and innovative environment. It allows students to make connections on a personal and innovative level.
I think it's a great opportunity for students to have a chance to collaborate and have intersectionality between ideas. So it's a limitless possibility space for students to not only take an idea to potentially come up with an income strategy, but also take an idea and develop it out to see how far they can take that idea. So it's a great learning space as well.
COC has come far in terms of expanding its technology, and plans for the makerspace to do the same are already underway.
We brought the first 3D printers in back in 2004 and then have expanded all of those technologies over the last 10 years. That kind of brings us to this point now where we're going to make it available to the whole student, to the student body, and eventually I'm hoping, to the outside world.
And to wrap it all up,
It's all about active learning, it's about experimenting, it's about doing, and it's about dreaming. That's what the philosophy was.
I'm Sammy Giebers reporting for Cougar News.
Old Town Newhall hasn't always been a hub for activity, but in recent years its popularity has exploded thanks to the Thursdays in Newhall program.
This past Thursday, Main Street hosted the Revved Up Car Show. Jacob Sykes has more.
Normally, Main Street is not known for having lots of cars on it, but this past Thursday, the street was packed with them, and not just any cars either.
Every Thursday here in Old Town Newhall, something is happening down here on Main Street. So the second Thursday is our Revved Up Car Show. Tonight just happened to be traditional rods and customs.
Cars ranging from 1919 to 1980 lined the sides of Main Street for passersby to gawk at. If you are unaware of these events going on in Newhall, you're in luck.
Thursdays at Newhall has many different components of it. So the first Thursday is jam sessions with 10 by 10 being hosted at the Repertory East Playhouse, and second Thursday is the is Revved Up and Note by Note, and then the third Thursday is Census.
It's not all fun and games down here on Main Street. These events are to help bring in new revenue and breathe new life into the Old Town area.
All of the events that come down to the Arts and Entertainment District down here in Old Town Newhall help with the revitalization and just the atmosphere down here in Old Town Newhall. I believe it'll be a 3-year process, but the new buildings are coming and new facilities, Lemley and all of the businesses that are going to be adding to the atmosphere of Old Town Newhall.
Revved Up here in downtown Newhall was a huge success, but not the only exciting event that they host here. For more information, check out thursdaysatnewhall.com for more exciting events. For Cougar News, I'm Jacob Sykes.
Next month is graduation time, and some students got a head start. Betty Varela has more on the story.
College of the Canyons had its annual Grad Fest this last week, preparing students that are going to be graduating in just a couple of weeks.
Hello, are you guys here for the grad fair? If you guys are, you guys take one of these. Hey, the graduation fair is basically for the people that are graduating this semester. And basically they come and make sure that they're not forgetting anything for the graduation.
I'm headed to the graduation fair and I'm really excited. I get to purchase my cap and gown there and get additional information that I need for my graduation. You actually get, I think, 20% off or 15% off. Regardless, it's still a discount and I'm going to take advantage of it.
Even our veterans that were graduating were able to pick up their special red, white, and blue tassel. And of course, we can't forget the party after the graduation.
We are here to allow our graduates the opportunity to plan their celebration for their upcoming graduation.
Cheers to the graduates.
Salute.
For Cougar News, I'm Betty Varela.
Millions of people tuned in last weekend to watch the League of Legends Mid-Season Invitational, and for the first time, a North American team was able to reach the finals of this major event. Skylar Barty has the results of those games.
Finishing out their time in Shanghai, Counter Logic Gaming was able to achieve a first for our region by making the finals of the Mid-Season Invitational against last year's world champions SK Telecom T1. CLG would eventually fall to the Titans that is SKT in a 3-0 loss in a best-of-5 series.
But this feels like the final fight. Petrifying Gaze didn't lock anyone up, but the hammer did. Duke throws CLG into the air. He picks his hands up as SKT have got 4 members down. They turn their attention to the Nexus, and SK Telecom continue to rule the world.
This would be SKT's 4th major international tournament win and their 3rd main series win, with their mid laner Faker taking MVP for his powerful plays.
33%. Set someone up, but he's got no hammer to knock people away. They have to make a desperate play right now. They are going to try. Faker's going to use the divide to kill Stixay.
CLG was able to leave with their heads high, however, as they look toward the North American Summer Split, which starts June 3rd.
That's sad. Coming out with the 0-3 loss. I thought we played pretty well, but our execution just wasn't really there. And we know what we have to work on coming into the next split, and SKT is just a really damn good team.
For Cougar News, I'm Skylar Barty.
Are you looking for something to burn off final stress? The COC Sustainability Center has you covered. The Stress Buster and end of semester celebration is taking place on Tuesday, May 31st from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Free food, games, and giveaways are set to relieve you of any stress, while also informing you about the resources available at the Sustainability Center. The center is located in room 138 within the Student Center.
Ever thought about putting work on hold, taking a hiatus for 5.5 months to maybe just live a little? That's exactly what one of former students, Cameron Duluzak, sought to do and began in mid-April. The former COC student is on a trek with a friend across the Pacific Crest Trail, beginning on the border of Mexico and traveling along California, Oregon, and then the border of Washington and Canada for a trip that spans approximately 2,650 miles. And last weekend, they passed right through Santa Clarita. Duluzak has been training for over a year and will face cold nights, desert climates, and rough terrain. Duluzak will be completing his travels in the fall of 2016 at the border of Canada. If you are interested in this journey, make sure to stay tuned in for his personal account when Cougar News sits down with him and learns all about it.
The second stage of the AMGEN Tour came to an exciting finish in Old Town Newhall. Chris McCrory tells us more on what the event had to offer.
30 seconds to the breakaway inside the final half-K.
Hundreds of people gathered from all over to watch the finish and experience the AMGEN Lifestyle Festival, where they could play games and watch the race on huge screens by the finish line. Racers started in Pasadena and made their way north to Santa Clarita, arriving in the city at about 3:45 in the afternoon. They were greeted by cheering crowds of people. The second stage of the AMGEN Tour of California is finished. Ben King took home first in this leg and has taken the lead in the race.
This is your new leader, Ben King.
On May 19th, fitness is on the menu. The city of Santa Clarita is hosting Bike to Work Day. Here's Jacqueline Barrientos with more.
On Thursday, May 19th, Santa Clarita will host an event called Bike to Work Day. Bike to Work Day is an event among businesses in Santa Clarita to see which employer can get the most employees to bike to work. It takes place during LA Metro's Bike to Work Week. Participants can receive giveaways at pit stops. 5 pit stops will be stationed throughout the city with snacks, giveaways, and raffles to help riders fuel up. Henry Mayo Newhall Hospital has also partnered with the city of Santa Clarita to provide refreshments for the 5 pit stops during the annual Bike to Work Day challenge. All cyclists will also be eligible to win great prizes from LA Metro. Be a part of the solution and bike to work. Bicycling reduces traffic, keeps our air clean, improves your health, and saves you money on gas. Make sure to come out to Bike to Work Day. May is also National Bicycling Month. For Cougar News, I'm Jacqueline Maritos.
Still to come on Cougar News, Linwood Foy signs to a Division I football program.
Also, we'll have a high school softball playoff preview. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, this is T-Boz of TLC.
This is Batman.
I'm Michael C. Morona.
And I'm Danny Tamarelli.
Hi, this is Ming Chen.
This is Mike Zapsik.
Hi, it's Louis Anderson.
I'm Weird Al.
I'm Florence Henderson.
You're watching.
And you're watching. And you're watching.
And you're watching.
And you're watching.
And you lucky people are watching.
Cougar News.
Cougar News.
Cougar News.
Cougar News.
Cougar News.
You're watching Cougar News.
And I'm a cougar.
Stay tuned.
Habitat for Heroes.
Really, it's a story about people.
Letting people see that they're not alone, they're not isolated. We're here to help.
And we need to work on behalf of our veterans.
Then we can really change that veteran's ability to reintegrate into the community.
Habitat for Heroes is not just rebuilding homes, but it's rebuilding lives.
And that's the message we want to get across.
Get involved. Visit habitatscv.org and find out how you can help.
What? This? Watch.
It's estimated that California will need 11 trillion gallons of water to end this 4-year drought.
Since 1994, COC has made an effort to ensure all structures on campus are built with earthquakes in mind.
The importance of accuracy is key to Paul Bond's reporting. And such a story where facts could be easily exaggerated might just cause Bond to return back to South Korea.
Although filming at College of the Canyons generates upwards of $1 million a year.
Today, everyone is here to celebrate one thing: life.
More than 3,000 participants ran locally in support for finding a cure for spinal cord injury.
What are you doing? Go watch the news or something. Awesome town, I swear.
You're watching Cougar News.
2, 1, go.
Hello, Kenny. Can you tell us the latest sports news?
Yes, I can. Cougar Volleyball Camp registration is now open. Faculty and staff will enjoy a discount of $25 off at the time of registration. Prices are $125 for the first child and $100 for the second child. However, prices increase as the camp dates get closer. For more information, contact Clay Timmons at clay.timmons@canons.edu. Two of COC's most successful sports wrapped up this past weekend. Softball lost Saturday to Mount San Antonio in the Southern California Super Regional by a score of 7-1. The golf team season ended Monday, finishing second in state to NorCal Greeley College. Even though the team was not able to repeat as state champions, they still had a successful season, winning the Western State Conference and repeating as SoCal champs. Congratulations, golf! COC football player Linwood Foy III committed yesterday to continue his playing career at the University of Louisville. COC wishes him the best of luck playing at the next level. Saugus and Valencia will host playoff softball games tomorrow. Saugus softball has done a complete 180 from last year as they enter the tournament as the first place team this year compared to last year when they finished last in the CIF. Saugus will host Edison of Huntington Beach tomorrow, while the Valencia Vikings will look to improve from their second round exit last year as they take on Diamond Ranch of Pomona. The second stage of the AMGEN Tour kicked off in South Pasadena on Monday. The tour was 92 miles and ended in Santa Clarita. During the middle of the race, it was Benjamin King and Evan Huffman who would separate themselves from the rest of the pack. Ben King outlasted Huffman and won the race despite breaking his fibula in a training race in January.
Really special day. The team is awesome here. I think everybody stayed out of trouble today, and yeah, really proud.
And that's all there is for sports. Back to you guys.
That does it for this edition of Cougar News. I'm Sade Easterling. Remember, you can catch us on the web at cougarnews.com.
And I'm Austin Westfall. You can also send us news tips and story ideas to our Twitter handle, COC_Cougar News. Have a good night, everybody.